Today we are finally starting on the greenhouse. So we're pouring the footings. 6 bags of concrete later. We ended up about a bag short. So I'll have to get one more. But that's how it goes. Now that the concrete's poured, time to plan the walls. Most of the lumber for the walls is repurposed from tear downs on job sites. Although we did purchase the metal and some studs. Next, I tried experimenting with some bottles while we were waiting on more wood options. I went through a lot of iterations, but I think I finally figured it out. So there's the first little section completed. With more wood acquired, now it's time to install some windows from an old cabin teardown. Test run of the roof line. Another weekend and more windows going in, more framing going up. So now the front wall and the rear wall are done. Or I should say, framed, not done. Another bottle section complete, slightly altered method. We acquired more wood, but it was a bit wide for our application. So we cut it down into 2x4 strips. And now we're ready to install the final wall. And just like that, the final wall framing is done. And now we're gonna make the Dutch door fit. Another weekend, time for more work. We ended up having to buy the roof joists because we couldn't source those from a tear out. They needed to be 12-foot long 2x6s. So we notched them out. Oliver helped and placed them on the roof. Roof joists in, blocking done. Now it's time to do the blocking on the upper half of the roof. All the blocking was from scrap wood from all the walls we built. Seemed to fit perfectly. Ready for a roof. Well, almost ready. We have to cut the tails, get it all ready so it looks pretty when it's done. The plastic wasn't quite lining up, might be a little out of square, so we took a break and went back and finished it another day, and now the roofing and the framing are complete. Now it's time to focus on the bottle walls. First I'm going to do is the one above the door, and then the one on the side. It's a measuring. It's 15¼ by 42 inches. So that means I will use a 16-inch bamboo. These will get cut down to this bamboo garden stake, and then it takes 4 bottles to make 1 row, and I'll need 19 rows. So here are all of the bottles that I need to fill in that top window above the door. I start each one with a complete bottle. I drill a hole in the bottom of it to put the stake through. Then I stack bottles with the bottoms cut off until it gets almost to the top. Finally, I take the bottom of a bottle, put a hole in it, and then I trim stuff down until I get about 1/4 inch sticking out on each end of the bottle stack. And now I'll just do this 18 more times and I'll have another window done. 2x4s with 20-ounce bottles going into them. I put a line halfway, and then I mark off 1.25 inches and then 2.5 inches all the way down. You do it on the bottom and also on the top, and then you feed the stake in through the top and then drop it down into the bottom. Voila! You have a wall. Only 15 more to go. A work table in the greenhouse, and there's temporary floor. It's too wide, we gotta cut it, and we're gonna put some gravel under it and pack it first to make it a little more level, but I think it's gonna work great. It's the same floor we have in our garage. So now I have 5 more rows of bottles ready to go, there and there. Now we're going to continue the upper window. The last bottles for the window above the door. Another window, check, done. Now it's time to measure and prep the bottles for that one, and then decide what to do with the triangle. And then the front is complete. Back in the greenhouse today. I'm gonna do a little bit of window work. At least it's dry in here. I decided to put that one last window that we had up here. Breaking up these big tall windows with a board across. They have enough bottles to do this lower part, but not all the way up to the top. And then I'm gonna put a board in the middle of this next to make other smaller windows. Okay, now the big upper one is divided. So then I'm going to do in this one, solid window, opening window, solid window. And then, or maybe, I don't know. Anyway, some are gonna open, some are gonna not, like up here. Okay, now I have put in the bottom board for the window. I need this spacer because the window is 1 inch too narrow. I gotta figure out how to put the window in. Got the window in, finally. It's a bit persnickety, but there should be. And then the rest of the blocking. So, next step in the greenhouse will be this back wall. The side two are gonna be sheet plastic, the upper triangle is sheet plastic, and it's bottles above the window. Now I'm building window frames from leftover scrap pieces that I ripped down to thin inch wide pieces. I'm gonna put plastic over them and fill the windows that don't have bottles. Screw them together at the corners, and now I have a rectangle. So now, staple the plastic to the sides. I'm gonna trim that up. I'm gonna wrapping paper fold the ends up. Folding the corners. Lots of staples. And there is window number 1. Window number 2. Here we come. Well, this one was just barely too tall. So I took it apart so I can trim the end. I fitted this one into the other window. That one needs to be trimmed both directions, but I haven't put it together yet. The first window is in. Now I'm gonna do this one over here. And then these triangles up here. And way over here. Hi, Oliver. I've cut one long piece that was 9 feet long into triangles to try and do the upper sections. I'm just gonna staple those in for now. That is definitely a temporary fix for the triangle. I don't know what to do with it yet, so I just kind of stapled some plastic up there. Now the front wall is officially closed in with the temporary plastic up above. So now I just have this wall, and this is bottles and temp plastic in there. And I need to do this one, which I'm going to do in just a minute. And the back wall will be closed in. And then I have a couple windows and 2 more bottle walls over here. And that's it. The temporary triangles are my favorite, but they don't look too bad. Another sheet plastic window in. My first hinged window in the upper section. I gotta figure out a way to keep it shut. Here's my latch. Now just figure out how to prop them open. That's a problem for summertime. Well, it's Sunday morning. It's sunny, but it's cold. We are working on the greenhouse. I really want to get the non-bottle windows finished today. Then I only have 5 bottle windows to finish as I get them built. But I have all the bottles. So here we go. Okay, so now I'm going to start assembling the frames, and Nick is going to keep cutting the pieces. First frame done. On to the next. Frames for the one side are done, so let's go fit them. The solid ones fit great. The opening ones we need to trim the bottom.
3, 22 7/8.
Okay, so now we're going to cut this greenhouse plastic. So since these windows are now going to stay this plastic, we decided to get this multi-wall polycarbonate instead of using the sheet plastic. So hopefully this works. Alright, so attach it with screws all the way around. Now we're going to put hinges on this one because this one is supposed to open. So this rafter here is getting in the way of our hinging process. So we have to trim it. It fits. So now we're going to screw it in. Open. Close. That's like self-latching. 2 down. 3 to go. Plus that one over there eventually. We have a new method of measuring these since some of them are slightly different top to bottom. We are taking off the sheet plastic on these windows that are going to permanently stay not bottles, putting the corrugated plastic on them. It is a chilly but beautifully sunny day, and I'm really happy to see that in the winter my greenhouse gets nice southern sun exposure when it's sunny outside. Look at that. Glorious sun. Alright, we got windows there. We got hinge windows there. We got all the windows there. And we got all the upper windows there. All we need is a few bottles and it's all closed in. We're making the triangles. Stopped and ate lunch. My feet are finally warm again. Now it's time to go back outside and get cold. We're gonna do the triangles and the floor, and all that's left is the last of the bottle walls. So there is the corrugated plastic. That looks way better than that. Oh, that looks really nice. Way cleaner. And while we're at it, and we have the skill set out, we're cutting these flooring pieces that need to be cutting so I can do the flooring when I have time. Alright, we got plastic over that. Nice and sealed. And we've got so much plastic. Second to last window done. 1 to go. And it's done. The greenhouse exterior is done. Dun 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 dun. I did it! Look at that. All ready for plants. Well, I hope you enjoyed the greenhouse build series. It's taken me a long time to actually finish it, but I'm excited to now start working on the inside. So watch for those videos next.